Welcome back to another adventure with my soul sister bestie, Miss Connie Rose.
Hey, how are you?
Absolutely extraordinary.
Yes, you are.
Well, we have a deep conversation to have tonight. Yes.
Very, very deep. There's some writer downers in this
it,
one.
there'll
And
be some. Get out a pen and piece of paper. You're gonna run it, write her down.
you might resonate with some of the things I'm going to share.
Love it. So the question is, what do you do when your relationship frequency changes? We've
Yeah.
all had changes in our relationships amongst the decades. And
Yes.
so Connie is unpacking some powerful information out of the book called Frequency.
Yeah. And we're still in chapter 7.
Well, and we will be through the end of the year. Yes.
It might go to the end of the year. It's pretty relationships are so important and such the opportunity for transformation,
Yes.
really.
Yes.
We don't do it isolated.
Alone. Yes.
Yeah. And so get my glasses on. So I'm going to start with when your relationships resonate to fear. So we're just going to start to dig on in.
Just dig it, strap it in, ladies. We're digging in.
Yes. So subconscious fear can resonate through your fear. I'm going to start that sentence again.
Great.
Lord. Subconscious fear can resonate through your field and give rise to fear-based people just as easily as your home frequency can materialize loving soulmates and soul friends. When people share misperceptions and unhealthy feeling habits, they work out the error of their ways by connecting with others who have the same underlying contractions. You aren't being punished by having troublesome people in your life. You're being given an opportunity to transform yourself rapidly.
Yes. Mm,
Uh-huh.
yep. Just keep
So
reading. I'll leave all my comments for another time.
so there are many ways in which relationships can be out of harmony. Fearful egos can turn the interaction sour, produce pain, and shake the pair apart. If both people are contracted when they're alone, the pattern amplifies to the level where it becomes tangible when they get together. Then it's common for both people to resist each other, projecting what they don't want to see onto the other one, resulting in blame, punishment, and rejection. If you're involved in troublesome relationships, it could be caused by any of the following reasons. There's three. One, both people are subconsciously adhering to the nonverbal sonar feeling patterns established in childhood concerning the way their parents acted with each other and with them, taking those patterns to be instructions for all relationships.
Wow.
Like, so, we know before age 7, like it just all goes in as the truth
Yep.
into our unconscious mind, right? And so when we see our parents acting out, we just automatically take on this is the way we are in relationships.
Yeah.
And whether the things are said or not said, people will hear what may or may not be said because that's the filter, that's the pair of glasses
Mm-hmm.
that they're interacting with you with.
Yeah.
So, like, I have all kinds of examples of that in my 51 years
Yes.
where I'll be saying one thing and my partner will be hearing me say something else. And that is not what I said nor intended.
Yeah.
And I'm sure vice versa.
Sure.
Yeah. So this is when it says you're on automatic, reacting without noticing what's true in present time. Your soul brings people who have the same underlying sonar pattern, who alternate playing the victim or dominator roles with you. Um, so it's very interesting. So it's like it says your mother was mean to your father and you became his little sweetheart. Now you easily take men away from other women or they take men from you. Or Your mother suffocated you with needy love because your father wasn't present for her. Now you can't commit to women, and if you do, they dominate you or they can't commit to you. Or one of your parents died or left when you were small, and now you get angry at your partners whenever you sense them needing their own space, and you leave them or they abandon you. Number two.
Wow. Well, take a deep breath after all that. I'm like, wow, I could come up with a name for each one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Example. Wow.
Yeah. So it's all this unresolved stuff that we get to transform,
Mm-hmm.
right? Number two, both people are fixated on an emotional or mental position that's interfering with full soul expression. Your soul brings someone who duplicates or challenges your views in a way that helps you see them. Because oftentimes we can't even see it in ourselves, right? And then we get to see it in our partner or our friends. You develop great expertise in science and now use it to explain every happening in your world. And you meet someone who thinks science is limited, that being artistic and in the flow is best. So it's like this dichotomy of the opposites, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or you turned your home and yard into a beautiful sanctuary from the world's chaos. Your new next door neighbors make lots of noise, smoke incessantly on their patio, and park junker cars in front of your property. Or you nearly drowned in a boating accident as a child, and your soul brings you a spouse who loves the seashore, sailing and swimming. So, do you see it?
See it.
Number three. I think there's only three.
Yes. Carry on.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. One or both people have karma, unfinished business from the past. You did something in the distant past that you want to make amends for and understand now. You find a relationship that lets you unconsciously reenact a situation in which you were close hearted before, but now want to be generous. Or you allow another person to make amends to you for their past misdeed. In another life or early in this life, you stole from your boss. Now your father leaves you out of his will. In another time, you died young, leaving your spouse alone with small children. Now, instead of leaving your difficult mate, you stay and deal with him or her and your problematic stepchildren longer than any sane person would. A karmic relationship is automatic and hypnotic at first, then often feels like you're in a tunnel. You can't get out until you emerge at the other end. You choose it, want to do it, but it's not that much fun. When it's over, you shake yourself and say, "What just happened to me?"
Mm.
And then Carl Jung says the meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed.
Hmm.
So it's these difficult relationships that we're like really getting to work out
Mm-hmm.
all of the, like I say, we come in with these agreements
Oh yeah.
and purpose and like what we're going to do while we're here, right?
Yeah. Yeah. What did
And
we do that we came here for? And
yeah.
yeah.
And I will tell you, one of my all-time favorite books on the planet is Neil Donald Walsh's book, Little Soul in the Sun. And
Mm.
it is a children's book. And if you could listen to it on YouTube. It's called Little Soul in the Sun and the Little Soul and the Sun, Neil Donald Walsh. And it talks about this little soul is so excited to go to Earth. And so God's like, well, who do you want to be like when you're there? And he's like, oh my gosh, there's so many great qualities. Like, I could be love and I could be kindness and I could be patience and I could be, but what I really want to do is I want to be forgiveness.
Mm.
And so God's, and I'm just paraphrasing, but like God's like, okay, well, if you want to be forgiveness and you want to be that generous spirit, then someone's going to have to forget who they are to do something to you that you'll need to forgive them for. And so that's going to take a big soul to do that with you. And it's like, oh my gosh, well, who's going to do this? And this little soul steps up and says, I love you so much. I will do that for you.
Mm,
Please remember who I am,
mm,
because I will have forgotten, because I'm going to have to lower myself to a frequencies that I could hurt you, because I want you, I love you so much. I want you to be able to experience forgiveness, but I'm going to forget who I am in the process. So will you please remember who I am? I think that's the most profound lesson. I mean, is that, and I think that's kind of what this chapter is talking about.
yeah. Well, and again, it goes back to, we can look at everything that it's happening, for us or to us. And
Yeah.
these relationships, while um, you could have regrets about, or you could have mixed emotions, or you could be sad, or you could, I mean, there's so many ranges of emotions.
Oh yeah, angry,
Yes,
guilt, you feel guilt or shame. Yeah.
yes. And ultimately, where the freedom lies, where the transformation lies, is in what did this relationship bring to me? Who did I become in the process? Who did we become in the process? And then really out, what I hear from that is, what do we want to birth out of this? Whether
Yeah.
it be together or separate, and plain and
Yeah.
simple.
Right.
I mean,
And that's with our romantic relationships,
yeah,
our parent-child relationships, being the parent or the child,
yeah,
our friendships,
yeah,
you know.
yeah. And this is again, the phrase, people come into your life they can come into your life for a season. Um, such that we can, like you said, be the mirror for what there is for us to get or learn, right? Um,
Yeah.
this is deep.
I know.
I'm not sure I was ready for this one.
Yeah. Well, and it's even in our business relationships. I
Of
mean,
course.
like we are always in a relationship. If you're at your house by yourself, you are in a relationship with yourself, your relationship with your money, with your, I mean, like,
Yes.
there is no separateness.
Yes.
Like there's this illusion of separateness, and
Yes.
there is no separateness.
Yes. Well, and that just reminds me of, like, I know for me, I'll come across a woman, and in some way she'll trigger me, right? And it's
Right.
like, what is it about that woman that it's really about me, right? Like, what there she
Always.
yeah, always. So she has something that I desire, or something that I want, or I'm jealous, or yeah, mostly jealous. And it's like, well, she has it. I couldn't be jealous if I didn't have it within me, because I'm seeing it. She's my mirror. So
Right.
yeah, isn't that fun?
Well, not so much until we transform it, right?
Right. Well, and
That's the
that's the
beautiful.
conversation we're having. So the opportunity to, if you are stuck or stopped by a relationship, to begin to look at, you know, um, what can be gotten out of it. How is this helping you grow through to where you're going?
Right.
Even your
And don't,
parents. I mean,
yes.
from that book, Many Lives, Many Masters, we pick our parents.
Yes. I
So if
know it.
you're,
I really do believe we pick our parents. I know that Nicholas chose me as his mom. Like I'm really, really super clear more than ever that that's what happened.
yeah.
Um,
But how many
yeah,
people do you know that are incomplete with their parents, that are in and upset about their parents? And
yeah,
then they see that play out in their marriage, or their friendships, or their business, right?
yeah,
So when you get really at the core of, like, you picked it, what did
yeah,
you come to get? What was the lesson you wanted? What's the
yeah.
learning you wanted to, what did you want to elevate? What did you transform?
Well, and then I'm gonna go on and read some more
Oh, you have more.
because
I'm sorry. I'm just babbling. Forgive
oh
me.
no, this is good because we are, there's we always have options, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, do we stay and work with the partner? Are they willing and open and coachable and all the things, like,
Yeah.
to grow together?
Yeah.
Or do you like say thank you and bless you? And, like my first husband and I, like it was an ugly, nasty divorce. And now because of the work that we've done.
Yeah.
Um, we are great friends. I mean, he's like he feels like family again to me, and has for has a long time, 15 years or so. And like we celebrate the holidays together. I mean, like
Yeah.
we're family,
Yeah.
and I love his kids, Nicholas's, brother and sisters, like they're mine,
Yeah.
and so that was not a predictable thing,
Yeah.
and you could still take something that on the outside looks like a Jerry Springer show and transform it, you know, when you bring, consciousness and all the things to it. So,
Amen.
and we get to choose, right?
We do get to
Okay,
choose.
so it says when relationships change and end, just as two similarly vibrating personal fields create relationships, relationships change and often end when the vibration of one person's field shifts. If the vibration of your field changes, as it might after spiritual breakthrough, certain people cannot occur in your field anymore. Unless they have a matching breakthrough, they will likely disappear.
Mm.
And this is why I tell people, like, I have a team that I work with, and they have some issues, and I'm like, that doesn't, none of that ever, like the people that they're having issues with, because I don't resonate with that. I don't have people resonate with that, and I don't know, like, I don't know how to tell you to deal with that, because I don't deal with that.
It's not your field. Yeah,
It's not my
totally.
field. So
Yeah.
look in your field
Yes.
and
Oh, that's so true. That's a lot of the coaching that I do is like transforming people's money mindset. Like if
yes,
you have a money mindset, you're going to get a money objection.
yes, exactly. This is
If, if
exactly what I'm saying.
if you are clear with your money, like things flow magic
Right.
way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because then the people that no longer resonate with you just don't show up. And then the people that do, that's who's there.
Yep.
So it says you may write it off with comments like, so like you may be thinking, like, when you're no longer resonating with them, they're boring, or for some reason they don't like me now. Friends drop away and new ones appear out of the blue. When a karmic period is finished, the vibration of one's field also changes instantly, precipitating a sudden shift in the relationship's form.
Mm.
And, you know, I had a relationship I was working on elevating, and things were not like, it just was not clicking. It was not clicking, was not clicking. I have this amazing man that I work with, named, we call him Dan the Sorcerer, because he's magical. And he worked with me, and he's like, this isn't even your pattern. Like, this was your mom and your grandma. Like, and this is what I saw. And this is, I thought, how relationships go. And when we like transformed that,
Yep.
then it was like, even though this other person didn't even know what I had been doing,
Yeah.
it was like the relationship shifted,
Yeah.
and it was like no longer there was no, it was just like a non-issue.
Yeah.
So it really can happen like that fast.
Well, and even
So
that stuff happens with my own daughter, right? Because I'll be all like concerned or she's upset about something, and then I'll go do some of my own work, and then all of a sudden she's all happy and joyful, and I'm like, wait, what happened? I thought it was you that was upset. Maybe it was just my field. Like and I always tell her that when I shift, you shift. When you shift, I shift.
yes, yes, yeah, because we're always evolving, you know.
Well, unless you're not, but we are.
Well, I don't, so you're either, I don't believe in stagnation. I don't think there is no like just like you're either growing or like decaying,
Yeah.
which is a different kind of evolution, you know. So here it says when one person's wave moves out of synchronization with their partner's wave into a higher frequency, it is felt immediately. If the relationship has been relatively unconscious, the person who's, quote, left behind may become angry, blaming, punishing, and controlling, and try to force the other back into the comfortable old pattern, or even physically injure them. If the partners, however, have made a habit of trying to stay in their own home frequencies, they'll have a much better chance at evolving together. They can bring the misalignment into consciousness by talking about it. Something's different, something's changing between us. What is it? Are the terms are the of our original contract together, our goals and our dreams, are they shifting? What do you want now? What do I want now? Can we occupy a new field together that radiates a higher vibration? Can we negotiate and let our relationship adapt and embody whatever new form wants to appear from our new vibration? Like, that's a conscious relationship. If a marriage, family, friendship, or business relationship can be fluid, open hearted, and honest, adjustments to its form can be peaceful. If the soul's purposes move out of alignment, the relationship can separate and shift to whatever form is appropriate, from a marriage to a friendship. I I did that once, I'm doing it again, right? For instance, or the people can easily slip away with gratitude into totally different realities. There really is no need for this is so important. Write this down. There really is no need for devastation or anger over relationships ending anymore. I'm going to say that again. Because people think about relationships ending, well, like there's someone in your life that was very upset that my marriage is ending in a divorce. And it made no sense to me, you know, and because there's this story out there, right, in the consciousness that has like divorce equals devastation.
Yeah.
And that's not been my experience. So it says there is no need for devastation or anger over relationships ending anymore, since both souls are always involved in determining the relationship's form.
Mm.
Isn't that great?
Mm-hmm.
So I know we started off really deep
And we got deeper.
and it got deeper. And, you know, when you take it to the level, like everything is frequency, right? Everything
Yeah.
is a vibration. And, you know, and really the most valuable relationship is your own relationship with yourself and your home frequency and your next level of your next higher self,
Mm.
like growing and expanding. So, any thoughts at this point?
No, I love it. I think also, well, and I know for me, like I was white knuckling a 13-year marriage, drug addicted, alcoholic abusive that was not working.
Yeah.
And I was on a trajectory to grow. I continued to have conversations with him, like, come along,
Right. I remember.
and unwilling. And I think for a really long time, I beat myself up about all that. And maybe there's other women that are out there doing the same thing.
Right.
There, I know from Landmark, we have the distinction like workability. So it's not a make wrong. Like it doesn't discount my love for this human being. It's called this just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Um, and so maybe some of our listeners have relationships that aren't working and they've been hanging on out of, well, they could be hanging on for a lot of reasons. I know, well, my modeling was like, this is the way it has to be.
Yeah. People, our family, we don't get divorced.
Right.
I have a dear friend, you know, I've been with her since I was 15, and we take vows for better or worse, and this is worse. And I'm not, you know, even though I'm miserable,
Yeah.
I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And it's like, what's the impact on the children? What's the impact on the like community with like all of it?
Totally. Yeah. Until the point of which I was like totally broken in every area of my life.
Yeah.
So yeah. And of course, we're not advocating all that, like do what works for you. We're just giving a different view.
Right. Well, and again, like when you look, and I never ever thought, Shannon, you know, I was raised in a very small Catholic town, great, cute little community, love it. And, you know, never in a million years did I think I would ever get divorced once, let alone twice, ever, you know. ever, ever. And I also know what I'm here for. And there are circumstances in my life that I get to overcome daily. And I choose that there's going to be joy in the rest of my life.
Oh,
And how do I create, I talk about, with Ben, like it's conscious uncoupling. I still want his highest and greatest and best things for him.
yeah,
And I'm in taking action around that, such that that's like he gets to live a great life and I get to live a great life.
no,
And yeah, I'm not necessarily advocating for divorce.
yeah,
And I see, well, I see what it looks like when it's not working
yeah,
and the impact on the person and the children and the rest of the family and all of the things. And when you don't have two partners, so for our listeners, you and Coach just celebrated your ninth wedding anniversary.
9 years.
And you have a consciously created relationship
Yeah,
as because you both are continually growing and evolving and taking on the next thing and the next thing and the next thing.
yeah.
And I'm sure like you guys have the conversations of like, okay, now this is the next level. And
This
now
is the
who
next
are we?
level.
And this is who I am at this level and who are we at this next level?
Oh,
I know
totally.
you have those conversations.
Absolutely. Well, and I'm just in awe. Like that was really what I was present to that day was like it takes a really strong man to put up with the trajectory of which I've been on.
Yeah.
And he's met it at every mark,
Yes.
risen.
Yes.
So, ladies, may you find a man willing to rise to every occasion.
Yeah.
It's really an honor and a blessing,
Yes.
a gift. And it's all your fault.
Well, and I was one of the last ones to know, I think. I was like, I think that they're like, because we were just friends and we, I introduced my friends. And I was like, I think there might be like, I was last to that party.
Perfect.
It was so cute. Um, so do we want to stop there before? I
I think
mean,
so. Yeah.
okay,
I
yeah.
think that's perfect.
I don't want people to end on like thinking there's something wrong, you know? Because and I also want people to think about like, because this could have left you in a lot of different places, honestly, you know. Um, and my prayer is always that we bring a new perspective that elevates. So if that's not where you are, my request is reach out to us. And because we are all about women being empowered and free and living their highest, best life, really.
Well, and I'll just add in, so I've had multiple conversations, as I'm assisting women in building business,
Yeah.
um, often the when they begin the business, the marriage is not where they want it to be. And so I'm always cognizant on it's a holistic approach. And I mean, we've transformed hundreds of marriages through the work that we do. And I think if you're not where you want to be, there's hope. And if
Yeah.
you take the actions and it doesn't work, then hearing some of the things that we've shared tonight, conscious uncoupling, like you say, Connie, I think can really make a difference.
Yes. Because at one point there was love present.
Yeah.
And love, I always say in my post about Nicholas, love never dies.
Yeah.
Real love,
Yeah.
and you know, I still love Tim. I love Ben. Um, and it's no longer a match. for me to be married to them.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yes.
All right, ladies. Well, like it, tag it, post it, share it. Let us know what you are getting the most. And until we meet again next week, get
Yeah.
in the
Next week is
car.
good. Yeah. Let me give you a little, because I just feel like it gets so heavy. And next week, we are going to be sharing about the home frequency of the relationship and the partnership, and really how to develop that and what does that look like? What are qualities in that like hot, juicy, sexy relationship like Shannon and Coach have? And then what it's like to give and receive from that space. So this week could be a week of introspection, really. And the good news, there's some more good news coming, I guess is what I want to
It's
tell
on its
people.
way.
There's more
Well,
good news on the way.
no accident. We have to break down the breakthroughs, right? So
Amen. Yes.
awesome. Well, have an amazing, blessed day.
You too. Love you.
Love you.